I was ready, I had a talk, I was prepared, I had laid clothes out, and I couldn't find my car keys. I could not find my car keys. I did all the things you do. I looked through the dirty clothes, and then it occurred to me, because my dogs at some point had been on the dining table yesterday, they were just looking for a little chocolate. And so I was convinced, because you know when you don't have accurate information, what you do is you fill in the gaps. You make stuff up, right? I was convinced they had carried my little leather key fob out into the yard somewhere, which they like to do because they enjoy burying things, only to dig them up some months later. So I was out wandering in my backyard this morning, speaking my word at the top of my lungs that nothing is lost in the mind of God. Nothing is lost in the mind of God. Now, the great thing about this was that it then occurred to me to go back and look at all the places I'd looked before, knowing that I could now look with new eyes and I might see what I had not seen before. So, of course, my keys were hanging on the hook where the keys hang. But you know, this is all metaphysics, because you can't see before you can see, right? And true to me, I never put my keys on the hook. You know, I think I could put my keys on the hook, but it's a great big universe. My keys go everywhere but the hook. Oh, God. This is the life you have been waiting to live. Isn't that extraordinary? You know, for many of us who started on the metaphysical path years ago, part of that journey looked like going to the Bodhi tree. Remember the Bodhi tree? I love the Bodhi tree. Yeah. Getting a copy of the life and teachings of the masters of the Far East and sort of getting on the path with that, you know. And one of the things I remember, and I haven't read this in years, so I'm really, really paraphrasing, but in the life and teachings of the Far East, they talk about how Buddha built a bridge from earth to heaven. That through the Eightfold Path, people could get free, that you could experience liberation. And then it went on to say that 500 years later, Jesus comes onto the scene in consciousness because the spiral of consciousness continues to evolve up. And so the next important teaching comes with Jesus, and Jesus says, yes, here's a bridge from earth to heaven. And what Jesus did was Jesus walked back across the bridge from heaven to earth, saying, and you don't have to die to get there. It's tremendous, because up until that point, people had to die to experience heaven. And so part of the great metaphysical understanding that we have now is that Jesus walked back across the bridge because he gave this teaching that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You don't have to die to have heaven. Isn't that wonderful? So that's why this is the life you've been waiting to live. This is it. You know that we teach in the Science of Mind that God is a principle and a power and a presence, and through your being in ongoing relationship with this principle, power, and presence, you can break free of any error condition, any external thing that you know is not as it should be. That this is the life we've been waiting to live. What I know for every person is that your soul longs to be free. Nobody came here for their soul to be encumbered, or held back, or held down, or limited, or not celebrated in any way. You know, I mean, I say this again and again, but like, you know, I am so over being tolerated. I only want to go where I'm celebrated in life, you know? It's like that whole thing. Oh, man, that's just so snarky, tolerance. You know, it's like, can't we just like celebrate everybody for who they are and move on? I read the greatest thing from Julia Child. She said that a party without cake is just another meeting. Yeah. A party without cake is just another meeting. And who needs another meeting, you know? Let's have a little celebration. There should be cake, right? So, where was I going with this? Let's see. Oh, I know.